Hello everybody, I'm here creating a mixed media canvas, and here I'm grabbing some stone effects by Viva Decor, and it's essentially like, looks like kind of like sand, gritty sand texture, and like gel medium I guess put together, and just grabbing a knife and spreading it all over very randomly. Next I'm taking a whole bunch of different sprays by Lindy Stamp Gang, and I'm just showing you all the colors there, but all the colors are on my blog, so you don't need to worry about stopping the video. And I'm starting with the lightest color first, and then I keep adding all the way to the darkest, and I believe there's 3 different blues there. And now what I'm doing is I'm just kind of moving the canvas around because I want that drippage effect. I want it to get right into those grain of sands, and I'm just allowing it to dry a little bit. I didn't really dry it with a heat gun. And then I'm going with a dauber instead of a sprayer with the Tainted Love Teal, and I'm doing the exact same technique and just moving it around. And as I go, I just keep adding a little bit more blue. It's all about layering. And because the canvas I purchased was pre-gessoed, which is not necessarily what I wanted to have, I feel like I'm having to add quite a bit more spray than I usually would if my canvas was ungessoed. And I'm just adding a little bit of green, some flat Fabio, so it has no shimmer in it, because it'll create a really nice teal with the blue. Now I'm taking this is a baby wipe, and I'm just wiping before the color dries. I'm just taking some of that color off and making some places darker and lighter than others, and I'm going to continue adding a little bit of color. You can kind of see a little bit of that shimmer already on that canvas, and I'm just grabbing that lime again. It's Luscious Lime Flat Fabio, and I believe this is the Hydrangea Blue. Just adding a little bit more, and look at that color mixing together. I know on camera kind of looks a little bit greeny brown, but it's really not. It's actually quite teal off camera. This is a little bit of yellow, California Poppy Gold, just to add a little bit of a different color. Now I'm taking a color shot by Lindy Stamp Gang and adding some acrylic medium to it instead of water, and just mixing it up until it's really nice and blended. It now creates a really nice silky paint, which I really love, and just applying it very randomly with a knife or with a brush, whichever way you want, and it just adds a little bit of a different texture to my canvas. And you'll see in a moment, I'm going to do a little technique with the heat gun, which gives your canvas a really, really nice texture. Just adding a little bit more spray. And then now here I'm going with a heat gun and just drying the canvas up and allowing, getting it really close so that it bubbles up. And then you didn't see it on camera, I did it off camera, but I popped bubbles with my hands and it created really awesome texture. Now I'm grabbing some Magicals, and this is Sea Mint Green, and you can see it looks yellow there, but as soon as you mix it with any medium, it'll magically turn into a different color, and you don't need a whole lot, as you can see, but watch it turn into a magical little color. And on camera it's a little bit hard to see, but it does have a gorgeous shimmer, especially when it dries. And this is just matte gel medium. Okay, so you can use, you know, glossy, you can use whatever gel medium you want, but I'm just using Liquitex. And then I'm just taking a mask, a random mask that I had in my stash. I have no idea what company this is from because it's pretty old, though I've had it for quite a while. Look at that gorgeousness. And of course I got gel medium on my canvas because I am a messy crafter. I'm just applying it. And actually I lifted this one up, and because it's so bumpy, I moved it around. I didn't really like how it looked, so I took it kind of off and started again. I don't mind that it's a little bit messy since it is a mixed media canvas, and I just lifted it up. And then I did one last bit with what I had left over. And then, of course, dried it up with my heat gun off camera. Next, I took the same Magicals, and with a little brush, I kind of went over it. It's hard to see on camera, but some of the shimmer was missing. So you can go over with the Magical absolutely dry and just go over right over the masks that you just created, and that shimmer just pops. It is unbelievable. And all our sprays, embossing powders, magicals, they're all two-toned. So it's just so beautiful to add them to any project. Next, I printed some, these are free printables that I found on Pinterest. And this is just a wonderful little bird. So I cut that out on my LaserJet printer and just adding that up. And I really like that there's quite a bit of bumps on my page because it gives the bird a little bit more of a realistic look when you actually see the canvas in real life. It kind of gives the wings some bumps, and it's just so beautiful. And then the same thing, these butterflies I found on Pinterest, and I'm just adding them. I'm putting them on actually with just matte gel medium, the same gel medium that I used to mix the magicals. And so I'm doing that throughout my canvas. And I'm putting gel medium on the bottom of the butterflies and over the top. And it really protects them, and it makes sure that they're really, really down onto your page, especially when there's so many bumps. You really need to make sure it's nice and down. And of course I fussy cutted these prior to going on camera, so you wouldn't have to painfully watch me fussy cut butterflies. Now I'm taking some Faber-Castell Design Memory Craft white gelato, and with my finger I'm doing the dry blending technique, meaning I'm not adding any water to the gelatos, just blending it with my fingers, and they blend so beautifully, especially after you add a medium such as gel medium. And I'm just going around all my butterflies, and what it does is it kind of gives it, they kind of allow the butterfly to pop out of the page a little bit and not be too blended into the canvas and get lost in there. And so almost like giving it a little bit of a shadow. So I'm doing that to the bird, I'm doing that to the butterflies, and I'm not going absolutely everywhere, just here and there, just to make it pop just a little bit. And you can see it kind of pops out of the page a little bit more. Next, I'm just grabbing a Pit marker by Faber-Castell Design Memory Craft again, and just outlining the images on my page a little bit more. And what this will do is it allow the images to pop just a little bit more. And then just giving them a little bit of detail, as I found that the edges and the little antennas weren't really showing through. So even going inside the bodies a little bit. Just showcasing the lines, and you'll see there's a technique I'm about to do with a white marker in just a moment. Next, I'm taking this gel pen, and I'm just making little dots on the butterflies, and it just creates a little bit of a different effect. And I love using my white gel pen. It just allows the images to really take a whole new life. Now I'm taking my black Faber-Castell Design Memory Craft gelato and just going over my all the borders of my canvas and just doing the dry technique again. By just rubbing it, and look at it, just makes the canvas pop now just a little bit more. And then I want to give the images a little bit more of a shadow, so I'm kind of putting black here and there as well, and just allowing some of that shadow to pop through. Next, I'm grabbing my white gelato a little bit and just kind of blending it, almost making that shadow a little bit more gray and a little bit more realistic. Next, I'm grabbing my acrylic water-based Montana marker, and I'm making a little bit more dots, almost making like little swirly marks throughout my canvas to almost mimic like the butterflies being in flight, I guess you could say. And it just kind of has more of an art journaling technique. I don't usually do this kind of stuff on canvas, but I just felt like it fit. So I love this pen, by the way, too. It's an acrylic pen, and it works so beautifully, especially when you use so many mediums like I did. The gel pen is so thin that it won't necessarily work that well. So this white acrylic pen works perfectly for this type of technique. And there's so many different colors that you can get of the Montana pens. And you can buy them at any local art supply store. Last but not least, I'm putting a little bit of Lumiere paint just to give it a little bit more shimmer. But that's about it for my canvas. Thank you so much for watching, and please check out my blog. The link will be below for all the product information and all the still photos. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.